Great choice. Amazon is indeed a fantastic sales channel to tap into as a low time and cost to market entry, both in country and if you plan to sell across borders on Amazon's global marketplaces. At Export Accelerator, we've helped lots of Gold Coast businesses enter new markets in the States, Europe, and in Canada by simply tapping into Amazon's marketplaces within these regions. Some of you may recall seeing this web traffic report earlier in today's session. I just wanted to reinforce this statistic further. Considering Amazon's only launched in Australia towards the end of 2017, the growth in traffic, which has been around 93% over the last 10 months alone, has been very impressive. But for today, I thought I wouldn't really look at Amazon Australia, and I would rather focus on an overseas market, primarily the US, and highlight the why and the benefits of scaling your business on the Amazon US marketplace as an example. To begin with, according to a report last year, 66% of all product searches in the US begin on Amazon. That's even before Google, eBay, and large big box retail websites. So if I correlate this statistic with Amazon's US traffic data, it isn't surprising. From March to June this year, Amazon continued to see increased traffic to its site, even as stay-at-home orders were lifted and stores reopened across the country. In July, site traffic was up 28% compared to February this year. In fact, US marketplace sellers averaged $160,000 in annual sales for 12 months ending May this year, compared to $100,000 during the same period a year earlier. So I believe the why is quite clear based on the data you just saw. It's fundamentally access. Access to a massive market. The real question really is the how. Well, that's the easy part. There are really 5 key steps involved before you get started. The first is to validate your product. That includes, assessing demand, competitors, price point, and so on. The next is setup. The third is listing. The fourth is fulfillment. And the fifth is using Amazon to increase your product discoverability using their advertising platform. These are the 5 fundamental steps as part of your initial Amazon journey. So let's start with product validation. Now, even before you decide that you would like to tap into an overseas market through Amazon, it is important that you consider a few criteria in regard to your products, especially since you're going to be an overseas seller yourself. The first one is price. We've typically seen products within the 15 to 120 price band do quite well on Amazon. That isn't to say you cannot succeed with products outside this range. It's just that there will be a heavier investment of time and advertising costs to get to a certain level. Next is how shippable is your product overseas and the freight cost to do it at scale. Typically, durable products that are not oversized or fragile do quite well. And then there's seasonality. Ideally, your products won't be sold seasonally, so your products need to be suited for year-round sales. After you've validated your product against this criteria, the next step is gauging demand. And the best place to start is Amazon itself. Look for competing products in your category, around your category. Which are those best sellers? Their price point, their product features, how do they list their product, how does the brand fulfill the product on Amazon, and so on. After you've identified key competitors on Amazon, jump onto any of the myriad sales estimator tools on Google, follow the prompts, and figure what sort of monthly revenues your competitors generate for those products. And then the crucial part of the validation process is determining profitability. This would help you understand roughly how long would it take for you to break even when you factor all costs attached with Amazon. This would also determine your ideal selling price to cover all fixed costs associated with your Amazon seller account. Now, Amazon has some great calculators out there. They're all online. Search for Amazon FBA calculator on Google and determine your product profitability. The setup process is really quite straightforward, and Amazon makes it easy for you to do it yourself. I must call out that this step is quite critical. Avoid multiple instances to avoid duplicate account creations. Get it right the first time. You will also need business details, some form of identity, tax information, banking information. So keep all of this handy before you jump into the account setup process. Once your account is approved and active, you can then begin listing your first product. If it's your first time, have a look at your competitors' listings, analyze several of them, identify common keywords that resonate with the product you're going to sell. There are lots of tools available to mine new trending product keywords. Key considerations should be your title, what are you going to say as part of it, your feature bullets, and your product description, which these days is visualized in some great layouts. And most of those are what Amazon provides in a templatized form. Then there's fulfillment. How do you plan to fulfill orders through Amazon? There are few choices out there, but when starting out, the two main options you would consider is either FBA, that is fulfilled by Amazon, or FBM, or fulfilled by merchant. Now, in an FBA scenario, your order is picked, packed, and fulfilled through an in-country Amazon fulfillment center, in which case you will need to ship your products directly to Amazon. Amazon then manages customer services and returns at your end. Or on the other hand, there's FBM, and as the name suggests, fulfilled by merchant is an option where you would be fulfilling each order from either Australia or drop shipping it directly to the customer in the US. Do bear in mind, Amazon does rate you on several fulfillment metrics when you opt for FBM, including how you handle returns. And finally, the exciting part is advertising. So after you've listed your product, there are several ways you can build awareness and increase discoverability on Amazon. One of them is through advertising on their platform. Amazon offers several modules to increase awareness that work similar to PPC campaigns on other paid advertising sites. So give it a go and try and see what works best for you. In conclusion, I would like to add that this is only the beginning. Your Amazon approach must follow a cycle of frequent optimization of your listing, which in turn increases traffic, which would then positively impact your sales and subsequently push you higher in Amazon search rankings. So keep track of your inventory and your daily sales, look for customer feedback, expand your selection, use Amazon metrics, and explore other cross-border global selling opportunities through Amazon. On that note, thank you for attending today's session. I do hope you've enjoyed this unique e-commerce adventure and found some of the tactics that I've used useful. We will be moving on to a short Q&A right after this, which is only for today and as part of this conference. However, if you got to drop off, I'm still available at the virtual exhibition hall. Search for Export Accelerator and you should find me at the virtual booth to take any further questions. Alternatively, look me up on LinkedIn if you'd like to discuss any of the strategies I've shared in greater detail. Thank you for your time and all the very best on your e-commerce journey.